Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, the 19th of September, 2025, as we head into the cooler fall weather here in South Florida. This is when it's time to come down. So if you're looking for an excuse to come down to South Florida, take a little break from the fall, everybody's in school now, so maybe you can take a weekend or something, right? This is the time to do it. Beautiful fishing weather, just a wonderful place to be in the fall. And of course, in the winter, it's even better. I'm ready to get started. I'm sure you are too. So let's go ahead and get right to work. I wanted to close out this week with a caution for us as traders because sometimes we get all excited about what we learn and grow and things develop and it's all positive and it's wonderful. And then all of a sudden we have some adversity that comes along and we blow ourselves up and we got to be careful about that. So I thought I would take a quick minute and just kind of give us a cautionary tale before we head into next week. So here's our quote to get us started. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. And that was Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States. An amazing guy. I've got a 4-volume set biography on Lincoln, which I keep promising to start, but it's intimidating. A 4-volume set on Lincoln, and it's 10 times the biography written by about Jesus Christ. I mean, what are you going to do? That's just, can you really say that much about the guy? I don't know. But so far, what I've learned about Abraham Lincoln, as from a standpoint of type of individual he was, his character is what defined him. I don't think that is, well, I should say it this way. It wouldn't have mattered whether or not Lincoln went into something other than politics. He would have excelled at it anyway. And that's because his character was the kind of thing that demanded excellence. His character was the kind of thing that just would not compromise. And he lived a life, despite the adversity that happened to him, by never breaking the covenant he had with himself, which is his integrity. He believed a man's word was his bond. And he routinely would go to the wall for someone or have to go there himself when someone else would break their word. He spent years paying off the debt incurred by a worthless business partner. He went into business with a guy. Unbeknownst to him, the guy ran up all kinds of debt, and Lincoln said, "I'll take care of that." And so his partner disappeared, left him holding the bag. He spent more than a decade paying off those debts. I mean, that's integrity. So why do I tell you that? You know, in the marketplace, if you're smart and you do your diligence and you do your homework, you're going to make it big one day. And a lot of people think that that's going to happen all the time. That once you've hit it, it's going to stay that way. Nothing could be farther from the truth. You're going to go through that business boom and bust cycle more than once before you finally figure out how to make consistency your goal and not profitability your goal. And that takes character to learn how to do that. Because you've got to make hard choices that mean you might have to put off doing something later that you could do now if the money was there. Rather than take the money out of your account, you're going to leave it in there and work differently because you don't want to be in a position where if you make a mistake, you don't have the money in your account to grow back. So that's what happens when you have a $250,000 score this week and you take 200 grand out to buy a sports car, and then 2 months from now you do something stupid and your account balance is at the point where you can't come back from that unless you sell your sports car and put the cash in. So now you've got a bigger debit because you're not going to be able to sell your Lambo for what you paid for it. And you know that. So that kind of stupid shit happens all the time in the markets, and I'm sure you've seen it. Why is that? Sense of power. Money is power. And if you've got a lot of coin or on your way to making a lot of coin, you're going to make some really stupid mistakes if you're not careful. And what does that mean? You got to work on your character more than anything else. You've got to really think about, why am I doing this? What's this money going to be for? How am I going to benefit? What do I need to watch out for? You know what I'm saying? I can absolutely promise you that this business rewards strong character. It may look like it rewards cheats and charlatans because there's so many of them in the financial markets, but in the long run, no, it doesn't. The people who come back from adversity because they've got strong character. People with strong character can create any future they want because eventually they'll find the money they need and they'll continue working on it. It won't use money like a Tinker Toy set. They use money like a tool to improve their entire world. That's where you need to be as a trader. Getting to that point is going to take some work, and I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. And for those of you that are interested in learning more, I mean, I'd be more than happy to do a series on that, because I think the strongest thing I learned during my adversity and how I developed into the kind of trader I am today is learning what it really means to have a character trait. Having tenacity, which I thought was something everybody had. I learned that nobody has that in the degree that you really need it. And tenacity, when you really think about it, is the only skill you really need to succeed because the longer you stay at something, eventually you'll come to every other clue and tool set and everything you need to. So tenacity really is the key to achieving any sort of lasting success, in my opinion. But most people don't really do that. If it gets hard or tough, they go on and try something else. They back off a little bit. They don't want to do the extra work, go home early, have an extra beer tonight, whatever, and not do the work that needs to be done. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. Take some time this weekend. You're going to have a few days. Sit down and ask yourself, I'm on my road to prosperity because I'm doing a lot of things right now. What's going to happen when I get there? What's my character? What part of my character weaknesses are going to show up and make me do something stupid and blow it up right now? You don't want that. No one wants that. I don't want that for you. So give some thought to that over the weekend. Okay, guys, nice chatting. I'll see you on Monday. Don't forget, tomorrow on the 20th, I'll be putting up my weekly performance. Interesting week this week with some very spectacular entries. I'd love you to come and see those. And then, of course, if you're interested in learning how to make entries like that, I can give you some additional insights. Anyway, I'll see you on Saturday, perhaps. If not, definitely on Monday for the next Daily Traders Discipline. Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend. And don't have too much fun without me. I'll see you soon. Thanks.